Hi, this is Dr. Pachenik, and today I want to make a suggestion to President Trump. You're 3 million points behind in terms of voting, in terms of the election. You need to be reelected, and you need to have 3 million people come forth, and you have the Electoral College. The best way to do this and the best way to stop all the Democratic nonsense and the harangues by the press is to dump Michael Pence as the vice president. I don't think he adds anything to your ticket. He's really not done anything unusual, and he doesn't increase the number of voters, and put in Nikki Haley. Why Nikki Haley? I've had certain concerns about her, but she's been an effective member of your cabinet. She was the UN representative. She was a senator. She was a state representative of South Carolina and a two-time governor of South Carolina. The reason I would appoint Nikki Haley now is, number one, she's of India origin. She's a Sikh, S-I-K-H, which means a student or a disciple. Usually a Sikh is a disciple of the Guru Nakan, N-A-K-A-N, from the Punjab province of India, and they were very powerful from the 15th century onto the 18th century. Her father's a professor of history. The mother was a lawyer and became the head of a Exotica International, a fashion design company, and Nikki was the CFO and eventually became a politician and went up through the ranks, as I mentioned. I think Nikki would, in fact, be the highest woman ever in the history of the United States to hold an office, particularly the vice presidential office. So you would garner all the women's votes. At the same time, she's a minority. The Sikhs are only 500,000 to 750,000 in the United States. They're exceedingly bright. They're very good business people. And you would, in fact, neutralize all the women in the Democratic Party, Bernie Sanders, Biden, and in fact, it was Bernie Sanders who voted against Nikki when she was appointed the ambassador to the UN. Now, why is this important? Because in order to confirm that you're going to get the next election, in other words, in 2020, you need a woman on that ticket. And particularly, you need somebody like Nikki Haley, who understands Republican politics, who was in fact nominated by Mitt Romney, but albeit she's a very effective executive functioner. She knows as a governor how to run a state. She knows what the issues are. She's been in government and she's been in private practice. More importantly, she will guarantee you another 4 years in the White House. And equally important, she might run for another 8 years beyond that. So conceivably, the Republicans could have the White House for the next 16 years. That's, of course, stretching out a bit, but it's possible if you appoint Nikki Haley. The fact is, Mike Pence doesn't really add to the agenda. He hasn't really effectively done anything new, nor does he have a large popularity base. Now, the reason I'm bringing this in is because you have had a lot of turmoil in your administration. She could come in and basically realign the members of your White House. She could certainly manage the people in your administration beyond the White House, and she could understand and deal with the governors in a way that you don't really have the past or the inclination to deal with. She knows the United States very well. She is really what an American should be like, born of immigrants, in this case Indian immigrants, but nevertheless very effective immigrants. Her husband is a National Guard South Carolinian who served in Afghanistan for a year. So she has all of the profile that will get you nominated in the next 2 years and for the next 4 years after that, and then hopefully she'll be nominated for the subsequent 8 years. The point I'd like to make is what she said. In order to have good leadership, you have to have courage. With courage, you can invoke all kinds of leadership. On that note, Mr. Trump, I wish you the best and good luck.